Fucking love this song.
We on?
On, sir.
All right, it's Friday. Let's not get fucking carried away. Hey, it's Friday. Meat, Metal, and MMA podcast. I am Kevin. That over there is, what's your name again?
Oh, gosh. Isn't that like a Blink-182 song?
Probably.
No, that's What's My Age again, not What's My Name again.
There's some things I try to tune out.
Roguish Draw, the Oathbreaker, coming at you live.
We are gathered here once again to talk about our three favorite subjects of the day and communicate such thoughts and other irreverence to you dirt-worshipping heathens that seem to follow us for no reason at all, out of loyalty or suspicion.
I think it's more just to keep an eye on us.
Probably suspicion. Nonetheless, it's good to get together again right here for our first one of the month of August. How's your week? How's your week?
Shit, outside of my house nearly being blown away by the mighty storm last night, shit's pretty gravy.
Yeah, well, you don't have anything to worry about unless you wake up and everything's in Technicolor and you got to be surrounded by a bunch of fucking midgets.
Oh, then I'll know the weed was really good.
God damn. What is this, Colorado? So nonetheless, folks, we like to get together and talk about some a variety of things. Mead, first of all, and that is our ancient Viking drink, of which we put together for purposes of helping those that like to help us, which, by the way, big shout out to my brother Daryl, who's always been fiscally supportive of our efforts musically and otherwise. Also our good friend Krista, who has always been very supportive. Also our friend Don, both of which were over last weekend for UFC 214.
Oh, we'll get into the Cry Fest a little later.
A little bit, but it's good to have a house full. It's good to
Yeah,
have
it wasn't
a house
bad.
full.
It felt like a proper fight night.
Yeah, no, there's like eight or 10, something like that.
And I was
a lot.
pretty drunk by main event time.
Well, that shows you're doing it right.
Well, you know, when I'm around a whole bunch of people, I need to drink a lot.
Wow, it's a good thing you're like not a high school coach.
I know my team would win some championships, but they'd be scarred for life because of it.
But nonetheless, though, let's jump right into it. First off, well, actually, before we get into the main stuff, usually our pre-game banter is kind of what we that's always outside the scope. Because then once we get focused and talk about the three big ones, let's talk first about movies. Seen Dunkirk yet?
No, I want to.
Yeah.
I think it's probably going to be one of those wait till Netflix or Blu-ray.
My problem is going to be that one's one you got to see on the big screen because of just the size of the screen, the sound quality, and everything else. Unless you're in a shitty movie theater, which nowadays those don't stay in business long.
Yeah, even small town or otherwise, you know.
What about Dark Tower?
Dark Tower, I think that came out.
Well, no, I mean it's that one that's on your list.
Yeah, that it is. It is because, like we were talking about the other day, I think McConaughey's. I want to go just see McConaughey play the Man in Black.
That guy is going to be a perfect villain. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's the same villain from The Stand, the Randall Flagg character. It's supposed to be the same guy.
Which kind of you can speculate it's kind of a sort of a tie-in.
Yeah. Yeah, but I've been ever since Wizards and Glass. I've been out of touch. I didn't realize there's been
book
5.
Yeah, and there's 9 books. So.
Yeah, it came out in '97. I hadn't read that 4 more came out after that.
Yeah, no, I got down to what I thought was the second to last one, and then I kind of held up, and then it turns out then they put another one out here in 2014.
Yeah,
because apparently Stephen King needs money.
God, well, shit. It went from us thinking maybe he'd never write again after he got hit by that car.
Yeah.
To that dude fucking writes on the ridge.
But he started incorporating into everything he writes, incorporates either himself into the story or him getting hit or a character getting hit. In the Dark Tower, and not just spoiler alert, no, there's a segment where he himself in the book gets hit by a car. It's a pretty bizarre little cross-universe thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's kind of got a little obsessive feature to him now, but that's fine.
He was already kind of an obsessive character.
Yeah, with Maine and Amityville and everything else. So, that's
good old. I really like Needful Thing. That was one of my favorites.
See, my problem was I never really got into any of his stuff except for the Dark Tower. So.
Yeah.
And people have told me be prepared to be let down, and I'm not looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm still gonna give it a shot. Probably not it. You know, I mean, we got a lot of fucking Stephen King-based movies coming out in the next couple weeks. I'm just not interested in the remake of it.
Hey, today is International Beer Day, so we decided to get a little exotic. We're drinking something called Budweiser.
Yes, it's German. German lager.
I don't know, it just says America on the can. Actually.
I thought about going like picking up some fancy beer, but then I was like, fuck it.
Why not? Because we're going to drink in volume, and why waste money?
That's right. That's what we got the rye for.
Mead update for this week. Yesterday, Brandon and I moved over our Green Man batch for clarification, in which then we're going to be adding the green chili, I believe, probably tomorrow. I got to figure out the how we want to go about that. Probably going to require us to probably move it to another fermenter again, and then add the green chili in, and then that way we're dealing with a perfectly clean batch. That's the hope anyway. And then probably a week in the green chili, I think is what we did last time around. That's probably
chili and the juice.
And we'll probably allow it to sit for about a week. We'll test it. And then if it needs to stay longer, it'll stay longer. If it doesn't, then we'll go ahead and move it again. And then one final move to a carboy. So we got about 4 moves left on that stuff over the space of about 3 weeks.
Shit, yeah, because we'd like to have it done before or around the McGregor-Mayweather fight.
Yeah, before Labor Day. That's kind of the goal. So, yeah, I think that one's coming along. What are we doing after that? Your guess is as good as mine.
Send in a request. We might end up doing it.
Well, let's not get crazy, but I don't.
Breast milk mead?
No, occasionally. Oh my God. No, occasionally. I mean, I'll get somebody who'll say, "Hey, how come you don't do one like they did in the Middle Ages, like with an all herb batch?" Well, we have. That was our Scarborough Fair batch. I don't know that I want to revisit that because the time came out a little overbearing.
But it was also because the meat, the wine. Fuck's sake, the honey we used was little on the Mexican side.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was an import. So,
but remember, we had a bottle of it. We tried it out like 6 months later because it was the last one we had, and we just wanted to drink it to make space. It actually kind of aged pretty good.
Mead, time is a hell of a thing for when it comes to it. I mean, you can have a very average batch that'll turn right around if you give it enough time.
Yeah.
So, still looking forward to coming up here later on in the year where we go back and try out our batch from last holiday season with the Holly King. But
really looking forward to that too.
Let's get into the metal side of things. There was a specific reason we led off with Metallica and Bleeding Me at the start of the podcast. James Hetfield turned another year older yesterday.
54, I think.
And he looks every mile of it. Yeah.
Well, like I said, being a burn victim in the 90s did not help his case as he got older. But hey, when you look at fucking everybody else, he's on par with kind of what he looked like about 10 years ago, at least.
Burn victim. So he's like a Michael Jackson or Richard Pryor type?
Like on a much higher scale. Did you hear the story of how he got burned on stage?
It was a pyrotechnics deal?
It was it wasn't the pyrotechnics' fault. It was his fault because he was at the wrong spot at the wrong time. And one of those flash pods went off right under him, which burned it like 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit or something.
Right.
And just completely melted the 1/3 of his body.
Yeah. Went from looking like a crazy young kid with a lot of promise to looking like Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Yeah, that's a pretty fair transition, I would say. You know, the great thing was, though, a couple days later, he was right back there on the road because it was right in the middle of a tour. And they were touring on the Black Album. It was really successful.
Yeah.
So the guitar tech for Hetfield filled in for him because he just happened to sit at home and grind on all his parts.
Why not?
So that just goes to show you, if you're a guitar tech or anything like that, fucking learn the songs of the band. You might be working one day.
Better to get burned on stage than take a nap on a bus.
Yeah, better to be pissed off than pissed on.
Probably a little soon. Probably still.
I know. Yeah, you're just hitting all the tragedies of Metallica. Happy birthday, Het.
So, nonetheless, though, no, that's one of our favorite bands. So let's move on. Other things going on in the world of metal. There's some new releases today. We checked them out, previewed them last night, and I am disappointed to say there's really nothing worth bringing up today.
The Marty Friedman one, I think, deserves a little more time.
Marty Friedman's trying to pay tribute to a lot of other musical styles.
He's going the old Dewey Cox route.
Whether it be some Esperanza to maybe
straight up
a little
jazz.
Yeah.
To just strings.
One of them with a violin player from some other band.
I don't think he plays violin for that. Like it's one of those weird emo bands. Like,
it was a chick, first of all.
No, it was a dude.
Oh,
that was a man.
It's an effeminate dude. Okay.
That's why it says one of these emo bands.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's actually. He's probably like the guitar player.
But yeah, Marty Friedman. I got kind of excited, but once we started previewing, I thought, oh, So he's trying to pay tribute to every musical genre that's out there.
And Marty Friedman, who, if you folks don't know, used to be the guitar player for Megadeth.
Go back.
In the 90s, which was kind of when they were really starting to get popular.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, talented dude. He does have that weird tendency of the 90s lead guitar player of riffing scales like crazy.
Sure. Going Steve Vai on some shit.
Yeah. God, there were a bunch of them. But yeah, so it's,
yeah, that Cole whatever. There was that one fucking weird music video with the dude in the dress. The real monotone sing. I can't fucking remember. I think I just blacked it out from my brain because it was a little odd.
And you're trying to stir it up in mine. I'm not going to allow that to happen.
Yeah. Sorry. It's like fucking Human Centipede flashbacks.
A few other ones out there. I mean, Lakeshore put out their EP 41.
Quiet Riot put out a new album today.
Yeah. It's a very uninspiring day here in August.
The guitar player from The Sword, Kyle Schutt, put out a Pink Floyd tribute album. It's the entire album, Dark Side of the Moon, done in doom.
This one's going to be homework for you folks. You're going to put the link?
Yeah, link will be below for those who want to check it out.
This might be homework material for you. If you're a fan of Pink Floyd at all, Dark Side of the Moon, you're going to want to check out this particular doom version. If they're searching for it outside of our link, how they go about finding it on YouTube.
You can just type in Doom Side of the Moon. That's going to be the first thing that pops up.
There you go. Yeah. I would check it out. It's different.
It is. I listened to it before I came over here, and I got to say, I think they pull it off really well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really tough to cover Pink Floyd without just making it sound like you're Pink Floyd.
Yeah. Well, because you can't put your own signature on a Pink Floyd song without everybody killing you over it.
Right.
You know?
Oh, it was Dale Crover. That was the name of that guy we were listening to last night.
That was
kind of on the odd side.
Right. No, there's a lot of new music out today. Virtually none of it is worth. I mean, Warrant's got a new one out today, for God's sake.
There's so many great things. Except put out a new album today.
What is this? 1980s revisited?
And then Jane's Addiction also new album.
I would have been excited about that if I hadn't seen that video about a year and a half. If I hadn't saw that video.
I hadn't saw that video.
God dang it! I've been living here too long. There's a video that they cranked out on a revisit of Jane Says that I think they recorded like 2 years ago, year and a half ago, something like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't age very well at all to revisit that as the original band.
Really?
Yeah, I thought I'd played that. Maybe not. Might
have been another one of those I blacked out.
I don't. Well, it might have been. I thought. Maybe it's just Carrie or something. Me and you. I don't know. Who knows? But it's nonetheless. It is. They turn it very. I don't know. It's got a very reggae undertone to it, and dude is showing his 50 some odd years of age very significantly. Can't hit the high notes anymore, and they just kind of get all jazzy / reggae a little bit fusion.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a little painful.
It's pretty terrible. Hey, some good news here, because once upon a time, you might recall, my big badge of honor was I got blocked from the Winter Sun Facebook page. And then when they cranked out their 4th seasons, then they kind of unblocked everybody they had blocked previously, which was kind of really, well, it took away my trophy.
Yeah, like a dickhead olive branch.
But then, one half of us has been banned again, and it's not me.
Okay. I have been on this campaign of any time I see a Winter Sun post of any sort. Doesn't matter what it is.
From them or Nuclear
Blast. One of the
Blast.
band members could have a fucking child.
Yeah. And
I would throw the ha-ha up on it.
That's Facebook's curse. They put the ha-ha thing.
Yeah.
That's what I do now. Yeah.
That's
me
right.
and you both.
It's like this isn't, it doesn't make me mad no more. Doesn't make me happy. That's for fucking sure. It just makes me laugh. And I've been doing this for probably about a solid month. The other day I got off work. They had just posted something like mere minutes before. Yeah. And only had about 2 reactions to it. And I was like, oh, shit. Ha ha ha.
I guess the laugh was on you.
And then I go to bed. I'm like, I really got him there. And then I wake up, and I'm looking for the post. I'm like, fuck, I can't find the post.
Yeah.
Well, it was gone because you already deemed it fit to make sure I don't see his shit no more.
if you're not stroking his ego, he wants nothing to do with you.
No.
And he called out a whole lot of sites that gave their record really bad reviews, which were, by the way, deserved.
Yes, legit.
You and I had a little weird come to Jesus meeting on this whole thing. You would pose the question to me.
Do we ever give the whole... do we... is it because we're so pissed that we're not giving this album a proper shot?
I don't think that's true. I think actually we gave it a shot, and it's for what we have come to expect.
But we technically only heard
time one.
A fourth of it.
No, I heard the whole thing. I played through the whole 4.
Oh, I've only heard the one they put on YouTube.
No, they have the whole 4 tracks that are up now. You can find them. The autumn one is
that's
horrible.
right. They've put them up.
The autumn one is horrible. The summer one's not very good. The spring one might be the best they have. Winter is terrible, which you would assume would be one of the better.
Yeah, you would think so.
No. They've done it sounded like something that Yari banged out in a bathroom in the space of about a week, Drums. Look, man, I like Kai. Kai is one of the best drummers in the business and on the metal side.
Yeah.
And he sounds like he's just mailing it in.
Probably because that's all that's required of him on this album. There's not a whole lot of inspiration here.
So I don't know. Best of luck, gents, and hope you enjoy your sauna. But because that's
built on the foundation and blood of your fans.
No, and a lot of their fans. If you say anything bad about them on their page on Facebook, look the hell out. You're going to have.
They'll tell you apart.
You're going to have a response from a dozen people probably within an hour about how you don't know anything and you just need to go home to your mama's basement or whatever, and that's what you'll get.
However, they can't talk shit at you for laughing at them.
That's kind of the point. But apparently they can block you.
So. They can block you very easily, apparently.
All right, moving on from those punks. Got anything else going on, kicking around for the metal side of the podcast?
Max Cavalera was born 1969 this day.
Okay.
Lead man of former Sepultura, now Soulfly, but many Brazilian, by the way.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, Sepultura.
You remember that fucking metal shop we had here, Dragon's Lair in Clovis?
Yeah. Right.
Whenever you go in, they had a fucking Brazilian flag in there, and it was signed by the guys from Sepultura because they were actually like pretty tight with a lot of bands like Fear Factory in the 90s. They were real good friends with.
That wasn't even behind the counter, was it?
No, it was
like hanging out.
Because you had that they had that little living area in the back.
Yeah, it was really kind of weird.
So it was hidden. Instead of having like beads or like a proper door, they had this Brazilian flag that was signed by Sepultura.
Right.
And in the fucking corner, it has written on it Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. That was the first time I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Because I hadn't had the opportunity to see any of the UFC cassettes yet. I saw UFC 2 maybe 6 months later. And I was like, oh, shit. Well, I guess that's what that is. Back when Brazilians were gassed to the gills and bad motherfuckers.
Sure. That's back in the days when I frankly, man, I didn't really pay attention. I do remember the Brazilian flag, but I didn't really put 2 and 2 together on that. Yeah, I used to go in there. That's the only place I could pick up 9 Inch Nails merchandise around the local area.
And same place where you can also buy a bong.
A what?
A bong.
Oh. No.
I was like way underage, but they had like fucking pro wrestling themed bongs back there. One in the shape.
Did you work there? What were they? Were you like a chimney
I was
sweep?
there every day, though. I might as well have worked there.
They were working brand at the age of 12.
Like, fucking, I love this place. It smells like patchouli, and I can listen to all the metal I want.
It's where I'd pick up samplers, too, so I'd kind of know what was going
samplers?
on. Yeah. I mean, they were always on cassette, but that's when I got introduced. But probably the only big one I still remember was probably Cold Chamber.
Yeah. Oh, man. That was one of the first concerts I ever went to.
Yeah.
Was Cold Chamber and Seven Dust.
I remember
Liquid
them.
2000.
Yeah, which
is now Jake's back room.
Yeah, it was the Palladium, and then it was Liquid 2000, and then I went over to something else. Lubbock, they'll tear down and change until it suits them.
Out of the old, into the new.
Yep. So it's Jake's back room now. So I mean, that's not bad.
Oh, one of the most metal men in the world was born today in 1901, Louis Armstrong.
All right. Well, what a wonderful world this is.
Hello, Dolly.
Satchmo.
That guy with the voice. I don't have any more names for him.
Well, no, once I threw out Satchmo as a nickname, that kind of killed it for us right there. So
that book ended that. Well, yeah, that's about it, man.
Let's move on to the MMA portion of the podcast now, where we'll go ahead and talk. I don't want to get into the minutia of 214. Let's just say it's the greatest fight card of this year so far.
Yeah.
There were some big fights on it. 3 title fights and one really big fight that we kind of cared about, Cerrone and Lawler. Now, first of all, let's jump the track slightly. Chris Cyborg finally had her first UFC fight at champion, or at the weight division she was supposed to be at.
Yeah.
Right? Say what you will, but, man, they designed the 145 division for her.
Well, see, now it's all down to who are they going to get to fill the rest of that division.
Holly Holm. You know what? And
yeah,
I have never...
You have 13 other fucking fighters, though.
I have never... What, in the 145 division?
Fuck yeah. What, are you going to just have like 6 fighters in that division?
Sure.
Hell, I'd go bump down to women's featherweight if the odds are pretty good.
It is the Cyborg division, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, but you got to have more. You got to have a proper roster to start breeding some fucking proper champions.
I don't think you do. It's the Cyborg division.
Yeah, but Cyborg ain't going to be there forever.
Well, no, and then when she's gone, look, if Evinger would have won, I swear to God, Dana White would have come out and would have absolutely said, "That's it, we're folding this division. We created it for one fighter, and she couldn't win the belt, so we're moving on."
Oh God, and that would have won him a lot of fans.
This promotion is a lot less now about meritocracy and far more about what they do for their marketing. That's what's bothered me about the UFC lately. They're striking me. They strike me like a second-rate division without recognizing they're at the top.
Yeah. They certainly don't act like they are.
Scott Coker is making all the right moves, and
yeah, man, turning those UFC scraps into Bellator gold.
That's exactly what he's been doing, man. I've got to say I respect what Bellator is doing. I mean, I used to laugh at him. I used to say, "Oh my God, this is the best I can do on a weekend is watch Bellator." That's turning around,
yeah,
in a big way.
Gegard's next fight gets announced. And especially if a fight between Gegard and fucking Rory McDonald happens, that is going to be a jam sesh, man.
Yeah. Well, and that's the whole thing, too. I think we already went into that last weekend about Gegard moving over.
And, I mean, they got Roy Nelson now. They got a guy from UFC at heavyweight.
Roy Nelson moved over, too?
Yeah, big country.
Well, yeah, but, I mean...
Man, he was having a bad run of it, though.
Yeah,
I think he got let go.
He got on the wrong side of Big John. That's one thing you can't do, no matter what promotion you're in, but it's nobody wants that on their conscience. And
not only that, I mean, if you're going to do that, you better win a lot of your fights, which he wasn't doing.
No, Roy Nelson hadn't won a lot of fights since Ultimate Fighter, really. And,
but he might,
right after that.
He might actually, revitalize the heavyweight division over Bellator. It's very stagnant over there.
Could.
I mean, I challenge anyone to tell me who the heavyweight champ of Bellator is right now. And probably people are going to get like, ugh.
So,
Barao getting beat at 214, pretty big.
He was on prelims, yeah.
The Lamas TKO of Jason Knight, fucking unbelievable.
Yeah, considering I thought Jason Knight was going to be a wrecking ball, but no, Lamas showed different.
Volkan coming in.
That's a guy that's going to challenge for light heavyweight within the next 2 fights.
Sure. I mean, he'd be good to fight for maybe Gustafsson.
I think that's the next fight to make, and I think that allows you to make a European card.
Sure.
So.
Oh, absolutely. If the Conor McGregor Russia Habib fight ever happens, be a good fight to have on the undercard.
I don't know. Well, here's the weird thing. I mean, global geopolitics in order here. I don't think that we're going to see a Russian fight card anytime soon. And a lot of that has to do with it goes hand in hand with the sanctions that were applied by by the government. Now
they're fucking with our MMA. That's bullshit.
Well, having the Ukraine, maybe.
Yeah, there's a huge rabid MMA fan base in the Ukraine.
No, I think you go back to Stockholm. Give Gus a home fight. He draws the shit out of them. They can start fight cards there at midnight, and people are happy.
They fucking need like a fight night Oslo.
Yeah, but Norway, they don't really crank
and
out.
Just make it all heavyweights.
That could be a bad thing too.
Let's see. Lawler Cerrone again. I want to just go back to that real quick. I still need to go back and watch it, But in my heart of hearts, I still feel like Cerrone won that fight.
I thought Cerrone had rounds 1 and 2 and took off the third round.
So see,
and
I
paid
thought
for
Cerrone had rounds 2 and 3. So maybe the argument is there he didn't have. I know they gave him rounds 1 and 3 to Lawler.
Yeah,
Cerrone getting 2.
See, I thought Cerrone had 1, and you thought he had 3. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, we're sitting here thinking, actually, thought, God, did Cerrone actually pull it off and get a 30-27? No, he lost 29-28. So,
I mean, that's just Robbie Lawler's. That's his way of doing it.
You have to be prepared.
You
have to be prepared in the third.
15-minute fight.
Yeah, you have to be prepared in the third round for Robbie Lawler to come out throwing.
Yeah, so. you gotta put him on his ass. You got to finish him.
I expected Cerrone to actually get him down a lot more, and he didn't do that. Yeah. So, and I think he probably recognizes that.
Right. So. Woodley defeating Maia.
The most boring fighter in all of MMA used to be, who was that cat from Oklahoma State? Rosholt.
Jared Rosholt. Yeah.
He was cut from the promotion. So now that leaves Tyron Woodley, who also, by the way, happens to be a champ, probably the most boring fighter after 2 fights with Stephen Thompson and then the fight against Damian Maia. His whole plan against Damian Maia, look, is a good strategy. And if you're a point fighter, if you look at a win purely based on doing the minimum you have to do to win a fight, he is an expert at it.
Yeah.
But the problem is going to be it's not going to be an exciting fight.
Sure. I mean, he did say he was injured. Fucked up his shoulder, something like that.
His labia or something.
Yeah, fucked up his labia.
Labrum.
Labrum majora. And, but it also, I guess you have to look at it this way. It was poor matchmaking.
People expected Damian Maia to be able to get in there against a wrestler and it'd be a good grappling fight, and that was the problem, is that Woodley wanted nothing to do with grappling. Woodley, by the way, Mr. All-Universe wrestler, wanted nothing to do with grappling with Damian Maia. I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to grapple with Maia either, but if you're a champion and your whole highlight reel is how you stuff a takedown.
21 takedowns, yeah.
Stuff 24 takedowns and run away.
Yeah.
That's a terrible highlight reel. What are they going to do for the next fight? Damian Maia won't be on his highlight reel.
Well, that's why he's not fighting GSP in November.
Dana White immediately threw him under the bus.
Then fucking ran him over, then backed up and did it again.
I talked about how much of a terrible fight it was. Tyron Woodley got really mad about it. Apologized, I guess, the next day. I don't know. They're going to have to figure something out because Tyron Woodley's style of fighting, it was great against Robbie Lawler, but that's the last time we saw him throw hands to any volume.
Right. And really, the only person getting fucked, Tyron Woodley's lack of action at 214 is fucking Robert Whittaker out of a fucking title fight.
That is the problem.
Yeah. That's a big fucking problem.
Whittaker was supposed to fight for the title against Michael Bisping, a fight which Bisping didn't want anything to do with, which we knew Bisping was going to suddenly come up with an injury. Yeah. Well, so because of the fact that Woodley had such an uninspiring fight, he's not going to be allowed to fight GSP. So the GSP, the cherry on the cake, is now going to go to Michael Bisping. He knows he can probably beat GSP, maybe. The problem is going to be, who knows who wins that fight. Then Whittaker gets a shot at whoever holds the belt. Then maybe.
God, my hope is GSP beats Bisping's ass.
Yeah.
And then they feed Bisping to Yoel. That fight has to happen.
Well, but Whittaker beat Yoel, so I think that
while Whittaker fights GSP to unify, fucking have Bisping fight Yoel.
Oh, Bisping Yoel. Oh, yeah. I thought you said GSP.
Oh
Yoel.
No, fuck that. Yoel will kill GSP.
Yeah, no, that'd be the right way to go. But we're talking like already in the second quarter 2018.
Yeah, and Yoel kind of needs a fight here pretty quick before the end of the year. That sucks though, man. He's like in limbo now.
Yeah,
he was fighting Bisping for the belt, and now he ain't shit.
Yeah. So
main event.
John Jones, Daniel Cormier. Jones Cormier 2.
God, the fucking head kick heard around the world.
Third round. Now a lot of people. Here's the thing. They did post the cards.
Yeah.
Every judge had that rounds 1 and 2 for John Jones.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought no.
10-9s given on all 3 judges' cards through 2 rounds, both rounds.
I thought they gave round 1 to Cormier and round 2 to Jones.
No, it was like 2018 after 2 rounds, I thought.
I got to check.
Unless I was looking at that card cross-eyed, but
Well,
which
was
possible.
it right after the card?
Which is possible.
If it was right after the card, then yes.
Yeah, we were putting away some whiskey that day.
Oh God, whiskey in that dessert that your lady made?
Yeah,
Bene.
indeed.
But yeah, that head kick, it was perfect.
Into the third round, John Jones lands a shin right upside the noggin of Daniel Cormier, which staggers him, and he immediately didn't know where
he was
at.
out on his feet.
And Jones just moved in and then promptly finished him.
The trip, while he was staggering back, you see Jones try to trip him?
Yeah, which did put him against the fence and then down, and then Jones just had to throw about 6 or 7 blows from the side position there just to go ahead and finish it off.
One judge gave both rounds to Jones. The other 2 gave round 1 to Jones and round 2 to Cormier.
Oh, okay. Wow, I thought it was across the board, but nonetheless,
yeah,
Cormier, I was not impressed with his game.
I'll disagree with you. I think his stand-up, his striking looked really great in that second round. He was tagging him good. I mean, when he opened that first round with an uppercut that knocked Jones' mouthpiece out.
Right.
So I was like, oh, shit. This does not bode well because we hadn't really seen Jones do a whole lot yet. But then Jones really fucking stepped it up.
That's when kind of that warrior mentality took over, and that's what John Jones is. He's a warrior. Daniel Cormier was a champion, but John Jones is a warrior.
Yeah.
And now he's a warrior champion.
Huge difference.
Yeah. And I mean, a lot of people are getting on Joe Rogan for interviewing Daniel Cormier after. I blame that on Cormier's corner. Where were they at? Where were they at? He was wandering around.
I saw no one helping him. I saw, Suits helping him out and Dana White.
Cormier was looking for the yellow brick road, son.
That I have to admit, that was pretty hard to watch that afterwards.
I mean, Rogan was kind of confused. He saw him, was like, oh, my God. Well, this guy is one of my broadcasting buddies, so
sure.
let's...
But you knew he was going to get a little heat because he was the guy that advocated, I'm not going to interview people if they get knocked out anymore. But I understand, dude got caught up in the moment.
Sure.
I mean, that's kind of the biggest thing that's happened since McGregor beat Alvarez.
Yeah.
So...
Well, and I mean, my goal for the evening, I want to see Daniel Cormier cry, and I got it. I got it in spades. Got it in spades.
They've frozen a picture of his face at the optimum moment where he just looks like a sad Walmart face.
Michael Jordan is happy because now he's off the meme schneid.
I mean, it was a great fight. It's good to see Jones. I mean, they put Jones back on number 1 pound for pound, though.
I still argue that Demetrius Johnson.
Mighty Mouse is just in a league of his own.
Yeah.
He'll never get especially now.
I have no doubt that Jones has got to be somewhere toward the top of the list.
I'd certainly put him at number 2 or 3 at least.
Yeah.
Probably number 2. I don't think anyone that ranks above him. Except for Mighty Mouse.
God, you have to look back to the OSP fight. So are we watching a John Jones that can't get up for a and I'm not making a dick pill joke, by the way, but he can't get himself up for a competitive fight. So he kind of took off a little bit.
Well, really, the argument
he didn't look like he missed a day against Cormier.
Yeah. So maybe what they were saying about him, I don't want to really be showing Daniel what I'm all about here. There might be a little bit of validity to that.
Yeah.
But he might have also been on coke, so who knows?
Let's move to the big wrap-up here. We got a fight coming up tomorrow.
Yeah, last card for a solid month.
Yeah.
So
214, that's the way the promotion runs now, is if they put together a huge card, it sucks all the wind out of the sails for a little bit.
The 114th airing of UFC Fight Night on Fox Sports 1.
Yeah.
Some standouts here on the card. A lot of Mexicans. This is coming out of Mexico City.
Oh, good. Well, at least it's not like
so Cain Velasquez might be there, since he's full-blooded Mexicano.
I was going to say if it was in Lithuania, that'd be a weird thing, but yes.
The great thing is in Mexico City, my man, my dog, the Ginger Warrior, Smiling Sam Alvey fighting Rashad Evans at middleweight.
Isn't Rashad Evans like my age? I mean, he's up there.
He's got to be over 35, 37.
Yeah. No, he's got some age on him.
Yeah, lost his last 3 fights.
Yeah, Sam Alvey needs a win because he's been struggling a bit.
He lost to Bader. He lost to Glover. He lost to Daniel Kelly when he made his 185 debut. Split decision. That was back in March of 2009.
Oh, we're talking Rashad, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, man, I like Sam Alvey by a knockout from the left. Like second round.
Because Rashad likes to throw, and Sam loves to counterpunch.
That is kind of a bad mix for Rashad Evans.
You look at his highlight reel. Most of Sam Alvey's knockouts are counterpunches,
and frustratingly so. If you're a Sam Alvey fan and cheering him on, hoping he does good, and he just sits back and waits for somebody else to do something, so then you get that weird Wonderboy Thompson versus Tyron Woodley kind of a standoff.
Yeah.
Don't put him up against any more counterpunchers, but Rashad Evans, he's a guy that moves ahead, and that might be a short night for him.
This guy will have fought. He fought fucking 6 times from June 18th, 2016 to June 18th, 2017.
Yeah.
He's like a little Ginger Cerrone. Only he don't want to be a cowboy. He wants to be a fighter.
And he tends to lose about half his fights.
Yeah. No, Alvey, he lost his last fight to Latis, but he won the previous 4.
Oh, I thought he lost 2 in a row or something.
No,
okay.
Derek Brunson beat him,
and
then Elias Theodoro beat him.
Yeah.
And then he rattled off 4 in a row.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, that's been a quiet little run for him then.
Yeah.
All right.
So, I'm picking Alvey just based on his fucking complexion.
Yeah, left hook in the second.
Alan Jouban fighting Nico Price.
I'll go Jouban. He's a funny guy. He lost his last fight, but he's in no danger of getting cut from the promotion.
Yeah, agreed. You got Randa Marcos fighting Alexa Grasso, who came in at 119 pounds. This is now a catchweight fight.
God, man, I'm going to go Marcos just because I always pick the disciplined fighter that does their job and makes weight for a fight.
Yeah, unless you're Oliveira.
Yeah, well, that guy, that's a different story.
Yeah, Marcos, decision. Your main event, Sergio Pettis fighting Brandon Moreno.
Who?
Moreno. I got to admit, I have not seen Brandon Moreno fight.
Is the promotion trying to make the Pettis brothers, like, marketable again after they both were getting shut out?
He fought Dustin Ortiz at the Cub Swanson Artem Lobov fucking fight night. Dude's 14-3, hadn't been beaten UFC's 4th fight. Fighting a Pettis brother. Sometimes that's bad, sometimes that's really good for your career.
Is this guy from Mexico?
Moreno is.
I will take the hometown guy.
Pettis fighting he was born in Milwaukee.
Milwaukee, which means the good land.
Algonquin, I think, right? Of course, we all remember 185 when him and his brother lost fights on the same night.
One of the best fight cards ever.
No shit.
Ever.
But then after that, Pettis fucking beat Carriazo, beat Kalidas, beat Moraga. It's pretty big names.
Some medium big names, yeah.
Well, for Sergio Pettis, I think those are some pretty good names to build your own on.
I think he's a solid guy that's outside the top 10 looking in. Let him in the top 10, and we'll see things start to change a bit.
And let's not forget, he did get a rear naked choke by Alex Bruce Leroy Caceres.
Yeah, yep.
Something I'm sure he hadn't lived down these 3.5 years later.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna go old Mexico. I'm gonna go Moreno on this.
You bet.
I just. It's tough for me to root on a Pettis brother, man.
Yeah. No, I understand.
I'm not a fan of Wheaties.
Yeah. That's it for us this week. God dang, the time flies.
No shit.
I'd like to appreciate all you folks that do listen to this. Hey, by the way, Steve, appreciate you going back and listening to the entire inventory of everything we've done. That's some weird discipline in and of itself.
It's that type of adoration we want.
Yeah, but nonetheless, I appreciate all the new folks we have that start tuning in every week, checking us out here on YouTube. Eventually, we're probably going to migrate our stuff over to our own website, so that way we're not dealing with all the nonsense from YouTube, but that's something that we'll face down coming up in the future. Some of you said, hey, are you guys going to ever think about doing a video one? Maybe. If you can throw some sweet cash, we'd love to buy cameras.
We don't want to turn on too many people, though. You understand?
Yeah. But nonetheless, though, efforts are appreciated. We got some big things in the works. I know we keep saying that every week.
And hey, fuck, we're forgetting next Friday. Got something big going on.
Next Friday, we actually are playing a live show. We got invited by our friend Ruben, who actually has a national touring band coming through, and we're going to Oh, yeah, I'll take some more whiskey.
Yeah, me too.
It's gonna. God dang it, man! I'm terrible with the name. Helio something.
Hemisaurus.
Hemisaurus. They're
Hemisaurus, Lowdown, Ruben's very own Alone in a Room, and yours truly, Season Woe.
Yeah, we'll be opening for that whole thing, so that way we can kind of set the tone for it. And
so for our local listeners, if you guys happen to be in Clovis around 4-ish,
yeah,
we're about a block from the police station. Come on down and listen to some very light music that we'll be playing because we don't want the cops called at 4:30 in the afternoon.
That's about right. If you're wondering, want to get some more information on this, find us over on our company page over on Facebook at Echoes of Ancients, of which we also, I think, I was really excited about some big stuff coming up in August, and I started looking at the month. It's just going to be too damn crazy to try to work in some of the new ideas that we kind of have on the on the boiler right now. But we are going to start introducing some new things merchandise-wise coming up September. So stand by.
So, yeah, thank you, friends. I guess let's get our picks out of the way. What you drinking?
Drinking, I'm going straight rye because we didn't have that last weekend.
Yeah,
going Bullet rye.
And, I mean, when we had that peach shit, which was good. It was good.
Bird Dog Peach Whiskey, which is okay. It's a little sweeter. I mean, whiskey is a little bit of a strong word, but
right? Yeah, it's whiskey flavored peach booze,
which I think cold frozen or on the rocks might be
ice cream, perhaps.
Yeah, it might be a thing for those of you that really don't want. It's like whiskey for those who don't like whiskey,
right?
So check it out. Check that out.
It's the schnapps of whiskey.
Yeah, metal. I'm going to go. I've been going really, really old school here lately.
Yeah, no shit. Alice Cooper and all this other horse shit.
Well, that was a new record, though, so
that's
that wasn't,
true.
I mean, old school guy, but new record. I'm going to go ahead, get back to Sub Rosa. Check that out. Type it in Sub Rosa. Whippoorwill. That's my pick for the week.
Going the entire Metallica catalog. Happy birthday, Het.
Oh, God, that's a good call. And as far as MMA goes, Sam Alvey by a big left in the second round.
Going to be grinning and Rashad going to be sleeping.
That's exactly it. That's what we're looking for. So that's kind of our picks for this week, folks. Get out and enjoy some good music, live preferably if you can swing it. And we will catch up with you fools coming up next week.
Like, share, subscribe, comment, love us, please.
Go back to Metallica and Bleed Me getting us out the door on this Friday. We'll be reporting about our live show next week. Have a good one, folks.
Love you, bitches.